Week before the new 2024 legislative session begins, Governor Hobbs is revealing a new plan that she says will rein in spending on the state's universal school voucher program. Her goal? More oversight of a system that pays for parents to send their kids to private schools using taxpayer money. The governor has said the costs are threatening to blow a hole in state finances.
This is an unaccountable, unsustainable program that is costing taxpayer dollars, and I think going far beyond the intent. When you look at what people are spending this on, luxury car driving lessons, ski passes, water park trips, that's not the intent, and that has nothing to do with school choice.
Her plan includes more accountability over how the money is spent, special approval for any voucher purchases above $500, authorizing the state auditor general to review private schools that take taxpayer dollars, and barring private schools from raising tuition rates above the rate of inflation. Republicans at the legislature are firing back, accusing the governor of trying to bury private schools in the same red tape as public schools.
We ought to be leveling the playing field by removing some of those rules and regulations and bureaucratic red tape rather than piling it on the private schools or the schools that parents choose to enroll their children in.
One-time Secretary of State Ken Bennett is now chairman of the Senate Education Committee. He thinks there is some room for compromise with the governor's provisions on school safety at private schools. But the stricter financial oversight is a non-starter for the House Speaker, Ben Toma.
The governor doesn't seem to understand that the private schools are not party to the ESA. This is a contract between the parent and the state. So to regulate, if you want to regulate private schools, then you can do that, but that would be a separate bill completely outside of the ESA itself.
Now, just to give you a sense of the cost of this program, it was assumed about $625 million would be spent on these voucher accounts across the state of Arizona. But in October, legislative budget forecasters, they had said about $40 million more had already been spent, and we're about only halfway through this current fiscal year. And next year, it's assumed the program will grow to about $752 million.
You also talked, yeah, no kidding. You also talked with the governor about the border. A lot of things bubbling and developing on that line. What did she have to say?
Yeah, I mean, with Lukeville opening, the port of entry down there opening here in Arizona, it's a big deal for a lot of folks who count on that to get back and forth from Mexico. I asked the governor about her reactions to that, or whether she thought the Biden administration had been handling this very well. She told me she's, doesn't see that closing down Lukeville to help address this surge of migrants coming across the border had done anything to affect that at all. She questions why it was closed down in the first place. I also asked her if she thought the Biden administration had been doing a good job with its border policies, and she wouldn't give me a straight yes or no answer. She just kept saying she was very frustrated.
And the National Guard's down there. She sent them down there. What are they doing, and is that mission over?
Well, it's interesting because she keeps saying that it's unclear that shutting down Lukeville had any impact at all. I've seen prior governors send, the National Guard down to the border, and it's unclear whether they make any impact at all, because the current the guard members that are down there are doing the same kind of work all the prior guard members have been sent down there. And it's working in a backup role. They don't work in a law enforcement role, and they can't do that unless they're somehow federalized, and they are not.
It's not like they act as extra Border Patrol agents.
Not at all. They're basically doing backup paperwork, that kind of stuff.
All right, Lukeville set to open 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Dennis, thanks.
Yeah.